Morning, people. So does needing to know actually stop us from knowing things? So what does that mean? Okay, so what is it to know something? So the way that we know things, I mean, we might take this for granted in our day and age, in our environment, in our culture. How we know things. If someone was to describe this to you, it would be, to reduce something, some kind of matter or some kind of situation or whatever, down to its properties, down to its parts. So it's all of those like parts and properties together and collectively make up the information of the thing, whatever it is we want to know. So but we digest this information in a really abstract sense. So it's by thinking, it's by conceiving, conceptual thought. So conceiving of those things, these bits of information that we can describe and determine, and that gives us the information about that thing, whatever it is we want to know. So so that's knowledge. And if you think of knowledge in the form of the pursuit of knowledge that we've been on since the scientific enlightenment, it's been the gradual accumulation of all of these facts, all of these properties, all of these detailed right down to the to the smallest molecules, detailed bits of information. So accumulating all of those bits of information about everything, not relying on the senses, of course. It's using some kind of method to deduce some kind of objectivity about it, and that can be tested. So that's how we gain and accrue all our knowledge about things. But it could be said that that's only one half. It's only one half of life or reality, or what indeed there is really there available to know. And it might surprise people. I mean, it might surprise people to know that there's another way of knowing. There's other ways that we can know things. It's a bit paradoxical saying it, because to know something is to do that process that I've just described. But what it is, this other way of knowing, it sits outside of the realm of language, and language in words is one of the means which really supports the this way of knowing that I've described, like the materialistic, putting things into parts and details and properties. So language supports that, because language is a similar system. It's broken down into parts, and we assign a certain word to a certain thing to give it its meaning or identity. But there's another way of knowing, and you could actually say that it's feeling. Now, even the word feeling, it has different uses, different connotations, lots of them negative, might I add, because of the bias towards that and how we've lost any interest in this mode. So we call it a mode of cognition, to cognize, to work something out. So we've lost interest in that. Society reflects that, as the other mode of knowing, scientific way, materialistic way, as that's become dominant. But yeah, I just wonder, through personal experience, I find it a barrier, needing to know something on that level that I've described. Needing to know actually gets in the way of me knowing something. So let's say a situation where there's lots of things going on, or there's lots of things to be like worked out, or a decision to be made from something. Needing to have this part of the brain, the focused awareness, which is related to knowing, the conscious awareness, needing to have that, work everything out and break everything down into parts and get all of the information, that has hindered me and does hinder me from truly knowing the situation, and the knowing of that situation could have been much better if I kind of put that to one side and just waited and let almost like, I don't know, my body decide. That's where we get into talking about like gut feelings, which is interesting because the gut, or the abdomen, is what science now calls the second brain, because of all of the activity that's going on there. But to access this second brain, to put it to use, as it were, it doesn't rely on a conceptual knowing of information. It relies on a different mode of cognition, which is to feel. Now that's difficult to explain, because feeling doesn't mean touching, but it just means relying on a holistic collection of senses, is all I could say for now. And I'll explore that in another video. I'm going to get on with this lovely walk. I'll see you all again soon.